Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today I wanted to do a video for you guys. It's another request. I got a couple requests to show you guys how I turn my day makeup into night makeup. Now this is not going to be like we're going out clubbing. It's not going to be in that feel. It's going to be basically taking our office makeup into a beautiful night out. Maybe it's a date night or it's a beautiful dinner, or maybe you guys are going to a lounge or something like that. So we're not going full glam, but we definitely will step it up so we feel a little bit more in the night mood. All right, so for the day, I already have obviously you can tell, I have my brows on since those are really stark because I have nothing else on. I have my brows on, which I used Precisely, and I am number 3, which I'll put everything below. And then I used my Air Flash foundation and my Bare Minerals Rescue Complexion. I used my Laura Geller Spackle treatment for my primer, and then I used my Chanel, this is the Healthy Glow Sheer Color for just a little bit of bronze, and then, you know me, my Hourglass Ambient Incandescent Electra blush. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on the eyes. Oh, you know what, before we start, I'm going to set this with a little bit of Urban Decay's All Nighter, because I definitely do that on a daily when I am going and needing to have my makeup stay for a little while. And if you guys have a problem with your makeup staying, I'll link a video below that I just recently put up on how to really make sure that your makeup stays on all day and doesn't slip and slide, and it's kind of my tried and true steps. All right, so I am going to give you a couple suggestions. You can do this look using the e.l.f. palette. This is by e.l.f. This is one of my favorite palettes they make. This is Mad for Matte. Or the Shade and Light palette. Obviously you can do this with a bunch of different palettes, but I really like to do them with these two because they're matte. For every day, I like to do more mattes, maybe just a tiny shimmer, maybe on the inside corners of my eyes or something like that, but definitely nothing too shimmery, unless it's just like a quick wash of, you know, like a cream pencil or something like that. But today we are going to start, let me just grab my brush. All right, so we're just gonna start in the Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D with the lightest color, and I am just going to put a little bit on the inner corner, and I'm gonna bring that under the brow. And then I love and also too, I'll show you what colors I would use in the e.l.f. palette as well. So you can use the light color right here, just as a little bit more pink than I really like. But for the next step, we're gonna go ahead and go in with this burnt color, but I'm also gonna go in with this color from Kat Von D. So you can pick whichever one you like. And I'm gonna use it on a big fluffy brush. And we're just going to get to put that all over the lid and above the crease a little bit. Oh, and I do want to bring something up before I continue. So I did have somebody tell me, or have actually asked a question to me, you know, I can't really use these kind of burnt orange colors because sometimes people ask me if I'm sick. So the key with this is if you're going to be using a burnt orange color, you're going to want to line the eye in something to break it up. So I am going to line the eye in a chocolate brown liner. And what that's going to do is it's going to break the look up. It's going to cut that red from kind of optically illusioning, like if those are two words, going into your eye to make you look kind of sickly. But if you are trying to steer away from those colors, go into this palette and I would pick this color right here. This color has a little bit more gray undertones, a little bit more gold undertones, and it won't make you feel like your eyes look a little bit sickly. And I like to bring this out just a little bit. And you can see I'm starting with tapping motions, so I'm packing it on, and then I kind of wipe my brush off, and then I windshield wiper away. And if you guys want me to do a video on how to blend eyeshadows, kind of like a beginner's guide to how to blend eyeshadows, I will definitely do that. Just comment below. All right, I love that color on. I really, really, really do. All right, so now I'm going to take, where's my liner? So you can either use a pencil or use the darkest brown shade in those two palettes. And I'm going to just line the eye, I'll go like this for you guys, very close to the lash line. And I'm using brown, so it's a little bit more natural. And I'm going to do the tiniest little flick up. And then I'm going to take a smudger brush and I'm going to just smoke that out a little bit. And I'm not going to bring it all the way in. I'm going to keep it more natural. I'm just going to emphasize the outside corner. And this eyeshadow technique is good for every eye shape. I already curled my lashes before I started. Now I'm just going to take my mascara. This is by It Cosmetics. This is a superhero mascara. All right, so I just put a very minimal coat of mascara on, and if you guys wanted to put the nude liner in your waterline, this would be the time right before you do the bottom lashes. But for me, I don't have a ton of time in the morning, so that's just an extra step that I just don't have time for. So this is very typical of how I would do my eyeshadow for every day. And then I actually have just some lip balm on that I'm going to take off. All right, so my lips are nice and primed and ready to go. And I am just going to pop a little bit of a nude lipstick on. And that's it. I probably would actually add just a touch of a more blush. This is by Hervana by Benefit. I have used this for years. I get so many compliments on it when I wear this. But I'll just pop a little bit more blush on, and that's basically it. So that, without me teaching you, would probably take you about 5 to 8 minutes in the morning. And in my opinion, this is super approachable. You know, no one would think that this is anything crazy when they saw you. Your skin looks fresh, everything looks fresh. And you see I didn't do any liner on the bottom lash line to keep that super natural. All right, so let's switch it up to nighttime. All right, so for nighttime, what I do is I go in with that same color, that burnt burgundy color, and I'm going to put it underneath the eye. And I go a little bit more generous on the outside corner, and then it kind of tapers in. And then I flick it up and I join my eyeshadow, so it's making more of that kind of feline shape of the eye. And if you guys haven't seen one of my videos, it talks about how to get like the biggest, sexiest eyes ever. I will link that below as well. And this is the same kind of technique, so I break it down. But you can already see the difference between this eye and this eye. It's elongated and a little bit more sultry. Now again, if you want to do this with any color for the nighttime, or you know, if you started out with a different color for day, it's fine. Use the same techniques. All right, so then you're gonna take your liner again and you're going to intensify that flick. And then you're gonna take whatever you want, either a black shade or a deep brown or a deep reddish brown. In here, I would take probably this color or this color right here. And I'm going to take it on my little smudger brush again. And I'm going to just intensify this corner real quick. Just lightly, right up from where you extended the flick. It's almost like you're smoking the flick out. And if you don't really have a crease or your eyes are hooded, take your cat liner out a little bit farther so you can really make that crease and have a lot of definition. And remember, use that straight line technique by going straight out with that darker color. But you see, it kind of just intensifies just that crease area a little bit. All right, so for me, that is really kind of where I would stop. You can totally bring your darkest color on the bottom lash line. You can even fill in the waterline with your dark brown liner to really intensify it if that's kind of the look that you're going for. But for me, this is kind of where I would stop. All right, so I would put on one more coat of mascara, and the eyes are done. I'll take my Hervana, and I will just intensify the color just a little bit more. If you want to go in with a little bit more bronzer, you totally can, or contour, you know, just hit it a little bit more intensely. I don't usually do this. I won't bring my whole thing with me. I won't bring my whole bronzer and everything with me for this. I will just add a little bit more blush and call it a day. And then the final touch, the final touch on the eyes, which I totally forgot, is I will bring just a little bit of light. So I'm going to be using my my ambient lighting palette, Hourglass, if I can talk. Just into that middle shade, and just give a little bit of pop right in here. Because it is so natural, it just lightens the eye up, and just ever so slightly under the brow. You know, I don't like a super highlighted under eye. Okay, so for the lip, let's take this off and just pat it in. There you go. So that's a great way to use a full cover or a full coverage lipstick and just make it kind of more wearable, more pared down, so that it doesn't look so aggressive with a more bold eye. So then you can leave it just like this, or, you know, if you are me, every once in a while, I will take a, what do I want to use? Let's use I'm going to use the Pop Cosmetics highlighter and highlighting palette, and I'm just going to swish it right here in this kind of light angelic color and just add a touch on the cheeks. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it makes sense to you. Please comment, and please keep those subscriptions coming. It really helps me out, and I really appreciate it so much. But yeah, I hope the next time you're going from the office to a dinner party of such that you think of this tutorial and it helps you out. So lots of love from me to you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah! Bye, you guys.